guys, welcome back to Love Lauren. I'm happy you're here today. I told you I'd be here today, and here I am. And this one is actually for photographers, okay? So, or even videographers, you could use these pose ideas as you are looking to a wedding, shoot a wedding or an engagement session or whatever you're thinking about shooting that has a couple involved, okay? I'm just gonna share some of my go-to poses that I do with every couple. And I'll deviate here and there when I, sense the couple's really adventurous or maybe they're a little more reserved, and then I adjust the kind of poses that I suggest. But these are my staples that I always go to, and I'm going to use some examples from a gallery that I just finished and a really fun couple that I get to shoot their wedding in December. And so we just took their engagement pictures in Orange City a couple weeks ago. And so yeah, let's get into some of my go-to poses for engaged couples. I always start with a grandma pose. So that just means like eyes and faces, looking at the camera, nothing crazy really going on. I feel like there's a lot of moms and grandmas that when they download pictures and want to print pictures, they want ones of the couple looking at the camera. And I try to with every pose that I do, every situation, every new location, I try to get at least a couple shots of the couple, both of them looking at me, because I know that those are really important to different parts of their family, different family members. But I also really want to incorporate some like more movement and get some like natural smiles and genuine reactions to each other. Those are my favorite photos. So we got to cater to both. So I always start with a faces looking at me, eyes looking at me, arms around each other, and we just kind of start with a boring, the grandma shot is what I call it. And then I move on to, okay, from, standing side by side, then look at each other. And then couples will do a range of things. Maybe the guy feels compelled to give her a kiss or to whisper something in her ear. But I do have them look at each other. I have them go forehead to forehead, nose to nose. I'll have the girl kind of look down over her shoulder while the guy whispers something into her ear, or I even just use the phrase like sniff her ear. It's kind of weird and funny, but it always makes for a good photo or a good video, some genuine reactions, especially if he makes her laugh and we get some good laughing emotion from the bride or from the girl. I do lots of walking, and I do a couple different kinds of walking. So I'll have them just hold hands and walk towards me. In this specific case, we didn't have a lot of room on the sidewalk, and so I had them go really, really slow, really, really small steps. I had them look back and forth at each other and smile. I'll even say, like, as they're walking, like, all right, now look at me, and then they'll both smile at me, but I really, with the walking things, I really want them to be looking at each other and engaging with each other. A couple other versions of the walking, you can have the guy take a step or two in front of the girl and kind of lead her along as they walk towards you. You can reverse it and have the girl step in front of the guy and lead them towards the camera and have her go between looking at the camera, looking back at him, and just back and forth. A couple things, you can have them bump hips as they walk towards you. You can have them, here is where I had Mitchell, the guy, kind of pulling Emma along. So Emma was resisting and Mitchell was like trying to like pull her along towards me, which just like creates really fun smiles. Another thing that I'll have couples do is kind of like gallop towards me, or like a slow jog, like a slow-mo jog. It doesn't have to be like running or anything like that. If the couple is really adventurous, I'll have them sprint at me or do something a little more athletic. But even just a very like slow-mo jog can make for some really pretty pictures, especially if they have a long dress or on a wedding day in a wedding dress. Those are really pretty pictures too. I always try to get a couple with the guy's arms wrapped around the girl and doing a little swaying, or maybe doing the whole Titanic, like arms out and then bring her back in and give her a snuggle and kiss in the cheek. There's so many little versions of those types of things to get more movement and like genuine reactions to your photos or to video. There's always a good like chin grab or a good like hand on the jawline. And right there, those were so many poses and you're gonna get so many shots just with those. And then you can have them sit down. You can have her kind of like leaning back into him. You can have them on a bench. You can do so many things. There will be times where you might get stuck on a pose or what comes next, and that's okay. I've grown a lot in this area of photography, posing. It's not something that comes naturally to me, and so I even sometimes will, like, as I'm scrolling through Instagram or going through Pinterest and I see engagement pictures or wedding pictures or whatever, I ask myself, like, what's a cue that I could say to get the couple to do this? Sometimes you'll get really cute photos. Sometimes the cue like doesn't work, and that's okay. Just move on. Even if they're maybe start out a little bit awkward, they're always going to warm up to you, and as they get used to your style of posing and as you get used to them and what they're comfortable with, as you gain their trust, they're going to be more apt to doing some of the weirder fun things that you may not want to start right away with. So if that makes sense. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. That's a lot of really fun pose ideas that hopefully will just help you get those classic shots, but also some really fun, like interactive, natural smiles, natural laughs from your couples. So hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for watching today, guys, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.